Okay.
Okay, well, it's December 2020. It's the year that Yaya's getting ready to turn 90, and we are in a global pandemic. So we're all wearing masks and quarantining, and we can't really go anywhere and we can't really socialize together. But I thought it would be good to ask Yaya some questions that she could share with all of us so we have a little history and know a little bit more about Yaya. So, Yaya, what year were you born?
I was born December 31st, 1930.
And did your parents ever tell you anything about the day you were born?
No, I don't remember them telling me anything.
Were you born in a hospital?
Yes.
Okay. So you grew up in a house. Can you tell us a little bit about the house that you grew up in? Like how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? Did you share bedrooms?
The house that I grew up in originally was on Neal Avenue. I don't remember too much about it, but shortly then we moved over to Forest Avenue, 438 Forest Avenue, and we used to walk to church. There were 4 bedrooms, a great big closet up on the second floor, and in the downstairs there were 2 stairways, one from the entrance hall and one from the kitchen, which was really nice. The living room and dining room were very large, and there was a small room as you came in the front door, which I remember my father was always sitting on the floor, leaning against the sofa with a hat on his head because there was a draft coming down the stairway.
So you said you had 4 bedrooms, but there were 5 kids.
Right.
So who did you share a bedroom with?
I didn't. I had my own bedroom.
Well, how'd that happen?
Well, the 2 boys slept in one bedroom. So that's what happened.
So, well, no, somebody that would leave your mom and dad in one, the boys in one, you in one. There was only one other room. So did Thea Mary and Thea Anna share a room?
Uh, Theana, I don't remember where Theana slept. I don't remember. I think Thea Mary had her own bedroom, but I don't remember where Theana slept. I don't remember.
Do you remember anything about your bedroom?
I had Priscilla curtains, that's all I remember, and I had a beautiful dresser. I wish I had it now. It had a great big mirror and two sets, a set of drawers on either side. It was really nice, but I don't have it.
Do you did you ever meet your grandparents?
You'll have to repeat that.
Did you ever get to meet or know your grandparents? Your yaya and
Oh
papoose?
no, absolutely not. They were in Greece.
They were all in Greece.
They, yes,
So you never met them.
no, absolutely not.
Do you know anything about them?
Not too much. I knew more about my mother's family than I did my father's. I do remember my father brought over his sister. Her name was Dorothea, and he brought her over, and that's all I remember about him. My mother had a sister and a brother in Greece, and she had 2 brothers here in the United States. The one was Dr. Alexander Davis, who went to the University of Michigan. The other one was Uncle Ernie, who was the father of Nick Davis, Pete Davis, and Chris Davis, but he died very young. Uncle Alex married somebody from Dayton. Her name was Fanny. They eventually got a divorce. They actually had 5 children, but we've never been in touch with them very much.
Hmm. Did you have any pets growing up?
Not growing up, no. After we got married and had the kids, we had the dog named Lita.
Yes, she was something, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
What was the best gift you remember receiving as a child?
Probably a bicycle. That's the only thing I could remember because eventually I used to ride the bicycle up to uh, what was Captain's Corner. Actually, it was Velvet Ice Cream. It started out as an ice cream store, and we had a full soda fountain. On either side of the fountain, there were large bundles of bananas. Eventually, it became a restaurant, and it was called Captain's Corner.
So were the bananas hanging on a banana stand?
I don't remember if it was a banana stand or they were just tied onto a big nail. It
Oh.
seemed like.
So when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I really didn't think about it. I didn't really think too much about it.
What big world events do you remember from the time that you were growing up?
Well, I remember hearing about World War II, and I remember helping my mother pack bundles to send to Greece. You had to put several tags on there and take them to the post office. We'd send a lot of things over to Greece.
What was in the bundles? Like food or
No,
clothes
they're
or
mostly clothes. Uncle Alex would send medicines over to them.
Interesting. What inventions do you remember the most?
Inventions?
Inventions like TV? Did you have TV
Oh
growing
my
up?
goodness, we didn't have TV when I was growing up. We had TV after we got married, and down in Florida, very, very little tiny TV.
Black and white or color?
It was it was black and white.
Did you have a remote control?
I don't think we had a remote control.
What kind of telephone did you have?
Oh, and down in Florida,
Yeah, or growing up.
we didn't have a telephone. That when Dad and I moved to Florida, we didn't have a telephone. We had to go across the street and use somebody's telephone. I remember when I got pregnant, I had to call my mother from a payphone.
Did you have party lines? Weren't there party lines
I
back?
don't think we did eventually. No, I don't think we did. Growing up, we had party lines.
Can you tell your grandkids and your great grandkids what is a party line?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe, but I'd like to. I'm not very good at descriptions. Papu was excellent.
But there were like multiple people, right? You shared a phone line? Is that what it was?
Yes, there were. There were.
When did you learn how to drive?
I don't remember the age. I used to drive my mother every place, and she'd sit next to me.
Who
When I
taught
first,
you? Who taught you how to drive?
oh, great Scott. I think we had it in school, but I don't remember.
Your mother, did your mother drive?
My mother used to drive.
And what was your first car? The first car you drove?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Do you know what it was?
It was an old car. I call it a jalopy. And I think I first got it about the time that I got to know Jim. And one time he came over with one of his friends and said he was going to fix something in the car. Actually, we had a two-car garage behind our house, and there was an alley back there, and they were back in the alley. And so then after they did what they were going to do, they called me out to start the car, and I started it, went bang, bang, bang. They just put something in there to scare me.
So they weren't really fixing anything. They were playing a joke on you.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
What was your first job?
I was a bank teller at People's Bank. There was a bank right across the street from Captain's Corner, and that's where I started. And eventually, I got downtown, and I was working down at the main office.
How did you meet Papu?
I met him at church.
And what was it? What did you like about him? When you first met him, what was it that made you like him?
I don't know. He was just kind and very thoughtful, and that's what I liked about him.
Was he funny?
Not necessarily. Sometimes, but not all the time. He came up from Birmingham. He came up to Birmingham and probably on a bus, and he had a trunk, which I still have. Eventually, he got a little Studebaker. Probably don't know anything about a Studebaker, but it was a cute little car.
Studebaker's a car, right?
It was a car.
Yeah.
Studebaker was a car. And we just, all of the young people would hang around because there were a lot of people out at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And we would just have a good time together. And eventually, Papu and I just liked each other, and we ended up getting married.
How and when did you get engaged?
We got engaged. I remember exactly the date. It was December the 14th, 1954.
And how did you get engaged? What did he do?
Well, he just said he wanted, well, we met, and I hadn't seen him for a while because my father had just died shortly before that, and he came around while my father died and drove me different places to get certain things for the funeral. But then I didn't see him for a while, and I said, well, it's either going to be you're going to see me or you're not going to see me. And so then at that point he said, well, let's get married.
And when did you get married?
We got married June the 12th, 1955.
And where did you get married?
Well, let me back up a little bit. We decided to get married on December the 14th, and he drove back down to Birmingham. And I remember him telling me that Aunt Georgia, that was his aunt who was married to Andrew, saw this little ring on his finger, and she knew something was going on. So then he went out and bought a set of diamond rings and a band for him, and came back on December the 31st and put the ring on my finger.
On your birthday?
That's right, on my birthday.
How old were you?
24. 24 because we got married June the 12th, 1955, and I was 25 years old.
So I guess you were turning 25 the day you got engaged.
Right. Right.
What's the most memorable family vacation you took?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Did you take vacations growing up?
No. We didn't know what a vacation was.
Never took vacation. Never went to the beach.
No. Not growing up. No, not growing up.
What makes you proud of your children?
Say that again.
What makes you proud of your children?
Well, they're all good children. Don't have any problems with any of them or of the grandkids.
What is the best thing about being a parent?
The best thing about being a parent is raising children and being proud that you have raised good children. My favorite saying is, children learn what they live.
And how about the best part about being a grandparent and now a great-grandparent?
Well, I love being a grandparent because the children remember you and do things that you enjoy seeing them do. And the great-grandparents, I love seeing the pictures of the children growing up. They're fascinating.
How are you like your mother?
I don't know. My mother was a very special person. She was very sweet and very kind, and she tried to remember everybody. She was very good with shut-ins, and she says, whatever you do will come back to you double.
How about your dad? How were you like your dad?
My dad was a very kind person. I didn't have to worry about him disciplining us or anything like that. He was just a hard worker.
What was most important to your parents?
What was most important to the parents?
To your parents?
To be good, and we all were very good. All the siblings.
Do you have any special sayings or expressions?
I just named one.
Yeah. Do you have any others?
Um, well, I can't think of them right now. I have a list of things that people say in Greek, but they're very difficult to translate over into English. But I have them on my computer. Whatever they can follow through with would be interesting.
Okay. What's the one thing you've always wanted but you still don't have?
Well, I'm sorry I didn't go to college. That's the only thing. There's nothing that I want and still don't have. Absolutely nothing. But I'm not going to college now. Forget it.
Do you feel differently about yourself now from how you felt when you were younger?
Well, I wish I felt a little stronger. That would probably be about the only thing.
Okay. What do you think has stayed the same about you throughout your life?
Determined to do whatever I want to do.
And how about changed? What's changed over your life?
What's changed? A lot of things have changed. My strength, my gray hair.
How about personality wise?
About the same, I'd say.
And how do you feel about growing old?
I'm not happy about it. I miss my my companion, my best friend, the love of my life.
Is that the hardest part about growing old?
That is the most important, hardest part.
What's the best thing about growing old?
Having family around and remembering me.
How should someone prepare for old age? Is there anything you wish you had done differently to prepare for getting old?
I really can't think of anything. I didn't think about getting old. I never thought I would live this long. And the last of all the family, whether it be Jim's family or my family, they're all gone.
So, what would you say to us as we are getting older and older? What should we do to prepare?
Be close to your family, be close to your kids, and exercise as much as you can.
What is your most cherished family tradition and why is it important?
Well, I think the most cherished one was would the fact that we all get together during the holidays and we get to spend time together. But not this year.
It's a little different. What's
Is.
your happiest or proudest moment?
My happiest was marrying Jim.
What do you know now that you wish you'd known when you were young?
Oh, that's kind of hard to. I can't think of anything really specific.
What advice did your parents give you that you remember the most?
Well, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, that's a good thing.
And how do you define a good or successful life?
Being happy.
What would you like your children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren to remember about you?
That I love them all.
Is there anything else that you would want to tell everybody now before we stop the video and wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a happy, hopefully healthy 2021?
Absolutely. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Anything else? Nothing else you want to say?
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. You want to sign off? You want to say Merry Christmas to everyone?
Well, of course. Merry Christmas and a happy, happy, happy New Year, hopefully.